Armin, do you think that the Islamic Republic is going to be able to get the oil money? So all the barrels that they got out from when the blockade wasn't there, obviously they can't get any ships out now, but they have all that oil sitting on the ocean. What do you think is going to happen to that?
Yeah, it would be interesting if they sold it and now they're not even going to get their corn and soy and hay, which is now is going to be even more humiliating for the Islamic Republic. Um, yeah, we have to see. Hopefully not. But I have a question also for Tara. Do you think that the blockade should have never been lifted? Like, was it a mistake?
I do think it was a mistake because allowing the Islamic Republic any sort of opening to rebuild or reestablish that power is never good because, again, it only creates more opportunities for them to oppress the Iranian people and take more from them and then gain more themselves and strengthen themselves and their capacity to carry out these crimes.
But can I steelman um, the White House and you could see if how you do respond to them? I just want to challenge that and you see how you respond. Right. So what if from the American perspective, first of all, they needed the oil to be released because the oil reserves of United States was getting dangerously low, right?
Right.
They always need a cushion. The United States needed a pause because their missile interceptors were getting, some of them, and some of them were getting dangerously low. They always need a cushion just in case a war somewhere else happens in the United States, like with the Russians or the CCP, if in case CCP wants to invade Taiwan. The midterms is a thing, so it's the markets, the midterms, the media, and also the Islamic Republic during this ceasefire has collapsed on itself politically. The negotiations and the ceasefire has caused a lot of infighting within the Islamic Republic, and that has been more devastating to the Islamic Republic than even the military operations, because the ideological part of the Islamic Republic is the roots. So with military operations, you could weaken them. With economic pressure, you could weaken them, but it would never cause them to topple until you target them at their roots, which is their ideology. And the only way you could do that is to humiliate them and cause them to negotiate with the people who killed the supreme leader and cause some infighting within them. So this temporary ceasefire was effective in getting the Americans enough time to maybe fill the markets with some oil, maybe recover a little bit. The soldiers need to rest. Maybe they need to restock their munitions. Inflations need to be put in control before the midterms, because if the Democrats win during the midterms, a lot that would be even they would they would that would be even more in the benefit of the Islamic Republic. So we have to understand that President Trump needs to do whatever he needs to do to win, to for the Republicans to win the midterms. So all of this, we have to take all of this into account, and also not only the negotiations and the ceasefire has caused a lot of infighting inside the Islamic Republic and has weakened the Islamic Republic with a lot of division. The Trump administration hasn't been sitting, they have been busy disarming the Islamic Republic's proxy. So even just because they haven't been fighting directly with the Islamic Republic, that doesn't mean they haven't been doing anything. In Lebanon, they have been busy disarming Hezbollah, and in Iraq, they have been very successful in going after proxies of the Islamic Republic in Iraq, and these are the last remaining some of the last remaining deterrence capabilities of the Islamic Republic. Which, if you defang the Islamic Republic, it will be easier to then deal with fighting Islamic Republic, because they don't have enough leverage to cause havoc and chaos somewhere else if you want to go back and directly deal with them militarily. So that's the best steelman that I have for the White House and everything they have been doing so far. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that point up because it's definitely not black and white. I will say, with regards to the infighting, that is definitely a good step in the right direction when it comes to collapsing this regime. Because if they're not willing to cooperate with each other, then how can we expect them to continue running a country, right? Which they're hardly even doing right now. And I think the ceasefire in a way, it was good in that maybe the United States could build themselves back up stronger. Which is kind of to your point. They could build themselves back up. They could, have create more strategies and kind of see where the regime's mindset is at after all of those attacks and be more deliberate with their next move. So I think in that regard, it could be seen as beneficial. But overall, I think any pressure we put on the regime or their proxies is both beneficial to the Iranian people and to the United States national security.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of complaints in the chat saying my question was too long and that I said that I'm going to talk less. Okay, fine. I'm not going to talk anymore. There you go. Just Ali
Oh,
and
yeah, there
Tyler, you
was
can continue.
all the
Yes,
people were like, Armin, you said you wouldn't talk. Oh man, that's
yes. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna
stop
keep
talking
asking
now.
him
You know
questions.
what? I'm just gonna go. How about that? You guys could
No,
carry on.
no. You have to stay.
Your show.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.